すっぱだかでたった一人原始の地球に生まれて1年4ヶ月でようやくたどり着いた。科学の根幹に、電気に。
Hello everybody, Megazard here, and I'm back at it again and give y'all another Dr. Stone review, this time going over episode 10, A Flimsy Alliance. And if you hadn't already watched my previous episode review over episode 9, you can go ahead and click that card in the corner and check that video out, and then come back and check this one. As a whole, for this episode as a whole, it was pretty good, I have to say. It really got it was more so, it was a little less scientific, at least this time around, and it was a little bit more plot heavy as we started kind of getting the ball going with the Kingdom of Science versus Tsukasa's Empire. So, we started getting the ball kind of rolling, and with this new character that kind of, was kind of on the fence of whether or not he was on one side or the other, though. But that's pretty much what this episode is pretty much going to go over for today, though. So go ahead, relax, and kick back as we're about to go over this latest episode of Dr. Stone.
来たぞ。まずはここまでな。
おはよう世界 Good morning world 地上に変えていくオルセイ一歩ずつ西を向かってよなこの歩みで世界を広げよう
Okay, and as for the plot summary, after 1 year and 4 months, Senku has finally rediscovered electricity and taken his big step to revive civilization. He, Kohaku, and Chrome, and Suika discuss the possibility of Jin being an enemy. Jin recalls that he was revived by Tsukasa and how he warned him of Senku's intelligence. Suddenly, Jin is assaulted by a group of men and fakes his own death. Senku and the others find him while Suika investigates. The girl with the watermelon head finds out Magma did it and plans to tell Kohaku next. The blonde girl explains that Magma tried to win the village's grand bout to wed her sister, but she joined just to stop him. Kohaku plans on training someone that can defeat Magma in the next bout and marry Rui so they can administer her cure-all drug. Kimuro and Jinra agree to train for her grand bout, and despite his feelings for Rui, Chrome goes along with it. The next morning, Jin disappears and the others believe that he's going to get Tsukasa. However, Senku knows Jin has already made up his mind and basically solidified it over a bottle of cola. So that's pretty much the whole plot summary for this episode, though. So overall, this episode kind of can get divided up into like two, I don't even know if they can really be divided up into two major. It's kind of just one central plot focus, and that was mainly all around Jin for the most part, because this dude was a magician, and it was kind of interesting to see Magma, who we'll talk about him in a later moment, though. But basically, he was out for Senku's blood, basically for his own, selfish ambitions and motivation and stuff like that, though. But it was interesting to see how he managed to fake his own death thanks to all of those fake blood packets that he kind of stuck all over his body. So this dude is definitely a trickster through and through, and he definitely thought several steps ahead in case he ran into Senku, who he didn't know at the time if he was like a big strong dude or if he could manage to defend himself or whatever, though, or try to potentially attack him. So it was kind of smart just to kind of see that side of him, and how as a magician through and through, him faking his own death basically saved his life, though. But yeah, So after that, we saw Senku's group basically trying to take care of him and everything, though. And this kind of caused a major issue because, if the dude didn't recover in just enough time, then Tsukasa kind of knew that, hey, Senku was going to be alive. So that was their top priority, to kind of heal him and manage to, get him back up to full health. And basically, once he managed to feel just good enough, he ran off immediately and kind of bolted towards Tsukasa, basically just to tell him, hey, Senku is dead, because he got convinced by the Kingdom of Science people with Senku and his other village friends, and basically convinced him to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to side with Senku on this because it has more of the best, interest for me personally. Personally, I could see myself being with the Kingdom of Science more so than Tsukasa's empire. So thankfully, they had Jin on their side. And that's mainly the first part of the episode. And then the second part dealt with the dude that was trying to kill Jin, and that was Magma. And apparently, he's that typical kind of show-off kind of dude that basically, big and strong lad that really honestly just wants power or control. And he can basically obtain that, at least for the village, by... There's this grand bout that they host every so now and then with different generations of who can basically will be the next person to be able to, be the ruler of the village. And they have to win that grand bout, and that will allow them to marry, in this case, Ruri, who's the village leader's daughter. And basically, that allows him to be the owner of be the ruler of the village. So basically, he was one step close to winning that goal, and he was almost there to achieve it until Kohaku decided to join in, because based upon some of the stuff that he said, because he knew that, Rui was sick, and he basically didn't care about her. He just cared about being the leader of the village. So that, Kohaku, took offense to that and basically stopped him and won the bout, which was the last straw for her father that said, okay, you know what? I'm basically gonna disown you, because there was a lot of things I basically had wrong with you, Kohaku, over the several past years, but this was the last straw. So that basically caused, her father to basically kind of push her away, kind of push her out, like, she's like the outcast child, so he doesn't, take kindly to her anymore, but basically puts all of his attention into Ruri instead. And now they have to, reschedule and do this grand bout again. But obviously Kohaku is not going to be able to participate in it this time. So now she's trying to train up one of the other two Gatewatcher keepers and trying to train them up. And while she also wanted Chrome, she really wanted to train Chrome up, but the other two physically, from a physical standpoint, probably had a better chance of succeeding anyway. But it was kind of odd, how Chrome basically had feelings for Rui, but in the grand scheme of things, he really just cares about her protection and, a protection for a good suitor that could actually treat her well. But not just that, but also this will be the best chance for them to get that miracle drug to her to be able to, save her life. As she's like pretty severely sick, and only the antibiotic is going to be a potential cure for that. So basically Chrome is kind of assisting with Senku to be able to create the miracle drug, while now Kohaku is basically training up those other two Gatewatcher keepers as their best shot to basically, win the competition, to stop Magma from potentially winning it, marrying Kohaku's sister in the grand scheme of things, but only just to basically be the village ruler. So basically, that's the whole episode in a nutshell. And yeah, it was a pretty straightforward episode. It was nice and pretty enjoyable though, and it's really interesting to see though. But you also kind of got glimpses of what Tsukasa was up to and how he managed to gather up a whole bunch of stone statues of people. And it looks like he's, you saw him in that seat, kind of standing like a grand ruler of his kind of empire, though. And his army's readily growing all the time. So now Senku, he really needs to find a way, to build those relationship bonds with that village, and start, advancing within his scientific advancements, because Tsukasa on the other side with his empire, he's readily building that sucker up, man. Those people don't look like a joke. I mean, man, those people are ripped, and if they were to go to war, I mean, shoot, Tsukasa's empire will most likely win at this point in the game. So that's where we're at with like the battle or the struggle kind of going on between Tsukasa's empires and Senku's Kingdom of Science. So that is all for this week's episode, for episode 10. So I hope you really enjoyed it. If you really like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell as well, just to keep up to date on anything out of everything anime news for Dr. Stone that I am reviewing for this series. And also, just a quick little news update for the anime reviews for Dr. Stone. I do have some family obligations I have to attend to for next weekend though, so I managed to get this review out for this episode 10 review. But for episode 11, I am not going to be able to review that one, you know, obviously like the point right after that episode airs. But I will come back the week after that. So the week that episode 10 review, not 10, when episode 12 reviews, I'm going to probably do a 2-for-1 and manage to review episode 11 and episode 12 in the same video. So it's like 2-for-1 that I'll most likely do for that review though. So I'm sorry about the inconvenience though, but hey, whenever life happens. But I did manage to be able to squeeze out this video just in the nick of time though. But I hope y'all really enjoy your weekends, and make sure to stay cool, stay fresh, and yeah, just subscribe to the channel just to see more content. And within the next couple or few weeks, I'll be right back at it once again though. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time on, well, whatever comes after episode 11, which will be Clear World, as well as episode 12, which we have no title for yet. But I'll see you back for episode 11 Clear World and episode 12 insert title here. So until whatever video I make next, see ya.
コーラ一本じゃせめてたっぷり冷えててくれないとね
しゃあね、弦が戻ってくるまでにアホほどキンキンのやつ科学駆使して用意しといてやっか。